Good afternoon. I'm Ms. Shayla Whalen, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it is my pleasure to convene our 2019 School of the Arts Graduate Hooding Ceremony. Welcome to Emerson's Paramount Theater. This is Boston's best surviving example of Art Deco style in theater architecture. When it opened in 1932, it was celebrated for its elegant lobbies, its colorful Art Deco murals, and its intimate scale designed specifically for the projection of movies. Emerson completely enlarging the stage so that it could accommodate all kinds of live performances. Today, the Paramount is home to Arts Emerson, Boston's leading presenter of contemporary world theater, and Emerson Stage, our internal production company. I'd like to congratulate all of our graduate students here today who will soon receive their master's degrees, the culmination of semesters of hard work. I'd also like to thank the family and friends of our graduate students who provided much needed support. And finally, I want to recognize the distinguished faculty of Emerson College. They are responsible for the rigorous education that all of you have received. Please join me in a round of applause for our graduates, their families, and our faculty. Thank you. We will begin with the invocation. Please stand.
Graduates of Emerson's School of the Arts, today is a day when we celebrate the achievements, the papers, the creations, the stories that you have brought forth into this world. Indeed, all that you have said and all that you have done is worthy of our great celebration today. And yet we also hope that over your time at Emerson, each paper, each creation, each word written and story crafted, you have journeyed deeper into becoming the fullest, kindest, and most authentic version of yourselves that you can be. For on this day, we remember the challenging yet truth-filled words of the great writer Maya Angelou, who wrote that, "People may forget what you said, people may forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And so in this moment of invocation, I invite us to take a pause together, to consider, who is it that I wish to be in this world? What do I wish to bring into my interactions, into my art, into my work? The answer for each of us will surely be unique and distinct, for that is the beauty of this community. And so in the moment to come, I invite us to take a deep breath together. You may close your eyes in this moment if you feel comfortable doing so. And I invite us to invoke such words as compassion, gratitude, courage, creativity, whatever it might be that will guide you and strengthen you in all your living and in all your working. And so I invite you now, let us breathe in. Let us breathe out. And let us be in silence together, invoking whatever it is that we need to be our fullest, our kindest selves. I invite you to open your eyes, to come back into this space, and to know how grateful we are that you've been part of this community. Thank you.
I will now invite Jan Roberts Breslin Dean of Graduate and Professional Studies at Emerson, to deliver the graduate ceremony address today. Jen Roberts-Breslin is an independent media artist whose work has received national and international festival awards, been broadcast on PBS, and exhibited at contemporary art museums such as the ICA Boston and the De Cordova. Her work has explored issues such as post-feminist domesticity, the subjectivity of history, and the perception of risk. She is the author of Making Media, Foundations of Sound and Image Production, the fourth edition of which was published in 2018 by Routledge. Dean Roberts-Breslin has been on the faculty of Emerson College since 1990 in our Visual and Media Arts Department, and has served as Dean of Graduate and Professional Studies since 2014. She is the founding director of the MFA in Media Arts program at Emerson, and served as a visiting scholar at the Communications University of China in Beijing from 2014 to 2016. She holds an MFA in film and video from Temple University and a BA from the University of Delaware. Please welcome Dean Roberts-Breslin.
Well, it has come full cycle. If you started your graduate program in the fall of 1, 2, or even 5 years ago, you probably began it in this theater at orientation. I most likely said something along the lines of, "Look around. These people will become very important to you as you begin this journey." Well, look around. I imagine that they have. You've bonded in your struggles and successes. You've workshopped each other's writing. You've spent long hours on each other's film sets. You've encouraged each other through the challenges of student teaching. You've wondered together how you will ever get through it while juggling jobs, families, relationships, and being far from home. But somehow you have. Take a moment to bask in that success. Even though I know some of you have some work to finish up this summer, the end is close enough to see. Let me say congratulations, though congratulations hardly seem enough to encompass the enormity of your accomplishment. And though I know you have relied on yourself and each other to get through, I imagine there are other people here you would like to acknowledge. First, the Emerson College faculty seated behind me. They have instructed, coached, encouraged, and invited you into their worlds. You started out as their students, and now you are their colleagues. Let's take a second moment to thank them. And your families, significant others and friends who have contributed in countless ways, convincing you to continue when it seemed like just too much, putting up with holidays, weekends, and vacations spent with you and your laptop, picking up the slack for you when deadlines loom. Let's thank them again as well. As I thought about what I wanted to say today, I wanted to find something that is common to all your disciplines and practices, something that we all can relate to. It seems to me that creative inspiration, seeking inspiration, recognizing inspiration, and acting on it is integral to writing, designing, visualizing, and performing. But upon further exploration, I found that there's no real consensus about how, or even if, inspiration matters. Artist Chuck Close has said, Inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. And jazz musician Duke Ellington said, "I don't need time. What I need is a deadline." Japanese author Haruki Murakami prescribes to a strict deadline. When I'm in writing mode for a novel, I get up at 4 a.m. and work for 5 to 6 hours. In the afternoon, I run for 10 kilometers or swim for 1,500 meters or do both. Then I read a bit and listen to some music. I go to bed at 9 p.m. I keep to this routine every day without variation. The repetition itself becomes the important thing. It's a form of mesmerism. I mesmerize myself to reach a deeper state of mind. But conversely, British author Scarlett Thomas claims routine kills creative thought. In the March 25th issue of The New Yorker, Pulitzer Prize-winning author and journalist Catherine Schultz published a personal essay called The Stack. The stack in question was a precarious tower of books that graced her father's bedroom, a stack of read and to-be-read books which grew over his lifetime. She tells of his love of books, but also of his skill as a bedtime storyteller. She writes, "Throughout my childhood, to our delight, he could not be counted on to stick to the text on the page. And on the best nights, he ditched the books altogether and regaled us with the homegrown adventures of Jana and Egbert, two danger-prone siblings from, of all places, Rotterdam." My father had a keen ear for the kind of word that would make young children laugh, and that was one of them. Those stories struck me as terrific, not only at the time, but again, much later, when I was old enough to realize how difficult it is to construct a decent plot. When I asked my father how he had done it, he confessed that he had routinely whiled away his evening commute constructing those bedtime tales. At Emerson, you have honed your craft as storytellers, whether in books, films, magazines, or through live performance. You tell stories that happened in life or happen in your imagination and in the imaginations of your audience. Through trial and error and revision after revision, guided by your mentors, you discovered better ways to tell your stories. But where did your love of this process come from? Where do you find your stories? I wasn't as lucky as Catherine, and whenever my sisters and I would ask my father to tell a story, it was the same one. There was a boy named Little Chester. One day, Little Chester went for a walk in the woods. All of a sudden, he saw a bear. Little Chester turned around and ran home and never went to the woods again. That was it, really, every time without fail. Not to mention the fact that I've since learned that turning and running is exactly what you should not do if you confront a bear. And it's not exactly a moral of perseverance and overcoming adversity. But my father nicknamed Haffy, or Half Pint, in response to his small stature, no surprise, I guess, taught me appreciation for a good joke, and if you could get him going, told vivid tales of growing up in 1930s Charleston, West Virginia, and highly edited stories of being a 17-year-old Marine private in the Pacific Island battles of World War II. Maybe that's why I love stories that are based on true events and believable emotional responses. But where do you find your stories? Is it in the mundane details of everyday life? Is it in the anger you feel at the world's injustices? Is it in the imagined world separated by time and distance from our own? Is it in the people you encounter or love or left behind? What spurs your creative process? Film director Ava DuVernay has said, creativity is an energy. It's a precious energy, and it's something to be protected. A lot of people take for granted that they're a creative person, but I know from experience, feeling it in myself, it is a magic. It is an energy, and it can't be taken for granted. Whether you find your inspiration through disciplined routines or by opening your mind and either summoning the muse or waiting for it to sneak up and nibble at your consciousness, embrace it and keep telling your stories. Teach us, change us, challenge us, touch our emotions, make us laugh, and inspire the world to be better. So, go forth, be bold, be kind, and hold Emerson in your hearts as we here will hold you in ours. Thank you. Our graduate student speaker today is Stephen Bartholomew Luna, who is receiving his MFA in Film and Media Art. Stephen is a filmmaker from Queens, New York. He earned his BA in Film Studies and Public Relations at Rhode Island College. His latest experimental film, Cut, has been screened at several film festivals, including the London Experimental Film Festival, and won an Accolade Global Film Award for student recognition. Stephen's first narrative short film, To Be Heard, screened as his MFA thesis at Emerson and is a semifinalist at the Indie Visions Film Festival. And I found out yesterday was accepted by the Rhode Island International Film Festival. Stephen also teaches as an adjunct film professor at Rhode Island College and is currently working as a freelance editor and cinematographer. Please welcome Stephen.
Hi, hello. I want to start by recognizing and thanking everyone who is here. Emerson faculty, staff, and administrators, as well as our friends and family who are here with us today. You can applause for them. But most importantly, congratulations to my fellow graduates in the School of the Arts. We made it. Somehow we survived the many sports parades without being trampled. In the last 3 years at Emerson, I've been lucky enough to meet some of the most talented, passionate, and dedicated people I've ever met. The professors have gone above and beyond in their support of my work and the work of my classmates, and we're incredibly lucky to have them. My classmates have also been amazing. Their support of one another, both in and out of the classroom, is something that I never thought could be manifested. But every day here at Emerson, my classmates prove that this is the environment where it can. I've never been part of a community so eager to help each other. Our passion towards our work and towards each other's work certainly connects us all. But of course, as artists, we are also connected by our appreciation to solitude. Being alone is just nice sometimes. We write alone, read alone, and we often get lost exploring our inner thoughts and imagination. However, even in our solitude, we are connected. And we hope that one day, others will get to see what we see in our minds. These things, these stories that we create alone. It makes me think of a poem by Ocean Vuong where he writes that the most beautiful part of your body is where it's headed. And remember, loneliness is still time spent with the world. As a kid, I never thought I would be in graduate school, let alone making films. I was always fascinated by films, but I wanted to be a lawyer and eventually a chemist. I wanted to make enough money to buy my mom a house and to make our lives better. But once I realized that money isn't what was going to make me feel fulfilled, and that making myself happy would make my mom happy more than any house ever would, I decided to pursue film and art. That being said, if anyone would like to sponsor my poor decisions, I'm currently taking donations. In all seriousness, it means a lot to me that I get to be here. As a kid who grew up in a community where I had to see my friends struggle and their families struggle, and see my own family work harder than I thought anyone was ever capable of, I feel lucky that I get to stand here. I grew up seeing my mother, who I can tell you is turning 60, but still moves and talks like she's 18. Sin vergüenza. Anyway, she was a single mother most of my childhood. And my aunt and my abuela, who are here today, also helped raise me. But it's because of these three incredible women that I had a childhood filled with arroz con habichuela y tostones, and stories of Dominican Republic, and love. Love first and foremost. I always say my mom taught me how to smile, but to be honest, it's because of these three women that I even can smile, and it's because of them I strive to make others smile too. My mom remarried when I was 12, and suddenly I had the father I never knew I'd get or even deserved. My dad, because that's what he is at this point, biologically or not, literally broke his back for us and continues to do so. I've yet to meet anyone who physically works harder than he does and who is as much of a shining example of responsibility and kindness. These four people are why I'm here today, why I'm the person I've become, and why I have the privilege, because it is a privilege, to make art. It means the world that I get to call myself an artist, but it's hard. It's still a struggle to do so, because I put a lot of weight into that word. Knowing how hard my family worked and continues to work, and I'm just here playing with cameras. But it's because of that generational awareness that art is deeper than that to me. Art is life and death to me. It's that important. Art comes from wounds and hearts and wounded hearts. Art has the capability to move mountains, to lift spirits, to communicate across languages and mediums, and to get something across that only the stars could make us feel. I often think about the stars, about how, like the stars, we come from all over the universe. We're different shapes and sizes, and some of us shine brighter than others. Some of us gather in clusters, and some of us carry the weight of the past for 1 billion years. Our lives and our experiences will live on in the hearts and minds of those we are lucky enough to reach. We influence the world around us and are influenced by those who came before us. All I ask of my fellow classmates is to keep this reminder with them, to not take art for granted, to remember that when we hold a camera, when we represent a space or communicate an idea, when we write a story or create characters that can speak for many or for a select few, to do so with empathy in our hearts. What we do and where we are going is a place not many people get to reach. And it is our responsibility to be humble and to lead with love, because those who see our light are not the lucky ones. Like the stars, we are the lucky ones to be in a position where we can be seen. Thank you.
cry in just a little bit. I have the pleasure each year to award the Graduate Dean's Award to a student who not only has excelled academically and creatively, but has given of themselves in service to the college or community. This year, the award is going to Ruksar Pala, who is receiving an MFA in creative writing. Rooks completed her BA in creative writing with a minor in French at Seattle University. Upon joining the MFA program at Emerson, she founded the Writers of Color graduate student organization. There she assumed the role of president and worked to voice the collective realities and injustices people of color face in the classroom. She was also the fiction editor at Redivider, Emerson's literary publication. Currently, she is a nonfiction editor at Crab Creek Review, a Washington-based literary journal, and her poems have been published in multiple literary journals. She is currently taking the next steps to start publishing her short stories, which vocalize the experiences Pakistani Muslims face globally. Congratulations, Rooks.
Will all of the master's degree candidates please rise? Provost Whalen, on behalf of the faculty of the School of the Arts at Emerson College, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degrees of Masters of Arts and Masters of Fine Arts who have successfully completed all requirements.
Thank you, Dean Sabal. Graduates, please come forward to receive your hoods.
Provost Whalen, may I present the Masters of Arts degree recipients from the School of the Arts? Oh, sorry, we're not done. Let's try that again. Provost Whalen. May I present the Masters of Arts degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Performing Arts and Theater Education. Lakin Nicole Arick. Cullen Riley Burling. Christopher D. Cavallo. Mara Shanna Dale. Jennifer Lynn Greffen. Brittany Elizabeth Irish. Molly Rose Carlin. Annie Gray Lineberry. Anitra Nicole Little. Laura Ashley Loy. Allison Diane Maneely. Yuka Moriyama. Daniel Rybel Morris. Samantha Elaine Myers. Amy Louise Nosowitz. Mayra Riestra. Andrew K. Robinson. Julianne Kathleen Roos. Salvatore Jason Sabella. Cariana Selena Santos. Rachel Dugan Solomon. Hillary Rose Sunberg. John Joseph Thiel. Nathan Joseph Wheeler. Robin Marie Wilson. Ellie J. Winkleman.
Ready?
Right.
All right, let's do it. All right, Provost Whelan, may I present the Master of Fine Arts degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Visual and Media Arts, in Media Art, and Film and Media Art. Stephen Bartholomew Luna. Sabine Boujalde. Si Chen. Ichi Chen. Chilin Chen. Biwei Song. Daniel Frank. Alexandra Simone Geller. Jinglin Lee. Jordan Elizabeth West. Zhen Wan. Hao Chen Yang. Shuyi Yang. Yihang Yang. Imo Zhu.
Provost Whelan, may I present the Masters of Fine Arts degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Visual and Media Arts in Writing for Film and Television. Marissa Ann Beatty. Aaron Abbott Brown. Taylor Brooke Carter. Margaret Cleveland Clayton. Maria A. Cortez. William Joseph Cusick. Joshua Gasita. Allison Margaret Galagli. Eric James LaRocca. Nicholas John Marini.
Provost Whalen, may I present the Masters of Fine Arts degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Writing, Literature, and Publishing in Creative Writing. Adam Joseph Berg. Jeremy Adam Berkline. Paige Ashley DeRosa. Sean William Deaver. Diana Rochelle Fernandez. Samantha M. Gibbons. Alicia Ann Guggins. Christian Harrington. Jenny Mae Coe. Matthew James King. Caitlin Rose Leffner. Matthew Allen Marlin. Christina B. Montana. Ruksar Faru Pala. Raina K. Puels. Albert Patrick Romero. Anne Uwang. Megan Margaret Valcour. Morgan Campbell Veman. Chelsea Louise Vitoni. Brian Emerson Vlasic. April Lynn Wilds. Stephanie Roble. Theon Wu. Wesleen Zolfanoon. M. Jamie Daltrey Zuckerman.
Provost Whalen, may I present the Masters of Fine Arts degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Writing, Literature, and Publishing in Popular Fiction Writing and Publishing. Daniel A. Bruno. Nicole M. Diebold. Christopher William DeRusso. Scott A. Johnson. Caitlin Elise Watkins. Richard Barry Wood.
Provost Whalen, may I present the Masters of Art degree recipients from the School of the Arts, Department of Writing, Literature, and Publishing in Publishing and Writing. Maya Ballard. Michael J. Berman. Fabienne Best. Ainsley Ray Campbell. Bryn Ashton Crowley. Corinne Megan Engber. Kelly Margaret Gauthier. Elizabeth Ann Hedgoop. Olivia Schmidt-Kajenki. Maitre Majumdar. Unaiza Zahid Maniar. Michelle Candice Martire. Chaitanya Murali. Kamsha Amanath Venugopal Nair. Anushri Anand Nande. Taylor Nicole Navis. Cindy Nguyen Pham. Catherine Ann O'Hara. Samantha Jean Oldroyd. Harini Rajagopalan. Mackenzie K. Erzonka. Parisa Murtaza Nakvi Syed. Carolyn Barbara Shanknowski. Anne Manaparatu Varghese.
Graduates, you are amongst the finest storytellers and artists in our world today. And the role that you will serve in will require much from you. Quaker activist and writer Parker Palmer has written that storytelling has always been at the heart of being human because it serves some of our most basic needs. Passing along our traditions, confessing failings, healing wounds, engendering hope, and strengthening our sense of community. Indeed, you are our storytellers, our tradition bearers, confessors, healers, hope bringers, and community builders. And this can be a heavy calling. And yet it is a calling that has blessed and strengthened and saved our world for so many generations. And so just as you go from this place, blessing the world with your work and words and beings, we now take this moment to confer our blessings upon you. May you always trust in your own wisdom, for it is a sacred compass within you. May you always treat yourself with gentleness, for you are worthy of compassion and care. And may you always know that you, your presence and your being, has already been a blessing to many communities, and we here at Emerson are now honored to count you amongst our alumni. Congratulations, and go in peace.
Thank you for joining us today for this inaugural ceremony that marks an important transition from Emerson graduate student to Emerson alumna and alumnus. This marks the conclusion of our graduate hooding ceremony. Please allow our alums to exit first.
Thank you.